So welcome aboard. We're back in Replay Office, and I've done some homework overnight, having looked at the previous video, and I did another identical qualifying session within RFactor 2's new competition series in the Alpine GT4. So I've come back to see how much of that gap I've managed to take away, how much improvement I've found, what lessons I've learned from our last Replay Office analysis session. We're in the swingman camera view from yesterday's qualifying effort, which was about a 2 minutes 30.9. So we'll be looking at the next car in front is my more recent attempt, and the car further in front is the pole sitter from yesterday. And as we approach turn 1, we can see that I've learned a little bit here. I'm further to the outside of the track, but not quite as far as the pole sitter. But nonetheless, not a bad improvement. My older time is still better on turn entry, so there's more to find on turn entry. But I'm using a bit more of the track. I'm going to touch the curb a little bit more here. And the exit's pretty good. So I've stolen less time on the entry, but I've stolen a bit more on the exit. So that's the quicker lap on the outside there. Now we'll speed up. And that's netted me a little bit of speed, my better exit. So part of the job's done. I've also moved further across to take more of the road and have a more smoother line into Eau Rouge and Raidillon. Still needed to take more from the apex of Eau Rouge, the right-hander. But I've managed to carry that speed gained. Here at the braking zone for Le Combe, we'll just have a little look at where the various cars brake. I haven't improved much, maybe 3 or 4 feet, but we can watch the braking zones, compare them. Reminiscent of Massa getting coached by his engineer at Monaco to brake later and later for Saint-Devote, and he was doing it about 6 inches or a foot at the time and got a massive telling off, and finally in quali said, right, I'll show you. Brake where his engineer suggested, expecting to go off, and the tyres hooked up. He made turn 1 and took pole at Monaco. So we've got to listen to our other self. So in all that chatting, so braking point wasn't really any better, but tell you what was a lot better. See, I'm drifting across here too early in the nearer car. The middle car, that's my better effort, so I'm much more patient with the turn-in point and therefore much more decisive. And you can see here when we touch the apex, the car is therefore much better rotated and on a better line. So that really costly line at Le Combe from my previous best effort, we've improved that quite a bit. I haven't compared the minimum speeds, but we're going to be a lot more towards the pole sitter's speed there at that corner. Speed it up again. Again here, used more road. I've gotten across to the left here to get a much better exit from the second part of Le Combe compared to my old performance. Although my old performance, I used more of the track on exit. Nothing really decisive here at Rivage, but using more track on the exit of Rivage, you just saw, and look here, using tons more track to set up the entry to the corner with no name compared to my previous performance. So some nice improvement there, so happy about that. Once again, with a lesser entry, I'm using a bigger exit with my old performance. So here I'm using 4th gear and a bigger braking, a bigger stop, but that's set me up, rotated the car, and the car in the middle there, the better performance, we're doing better on the exit of Pouhon. Using a bit more road here at Campus and Malmedy. Again, more using more road on the entry, a little bit more on the exit. pretty similar through Blanchimont. Better exit from the final bus stop chicane. So what did all those changes and that little bit of practice and homework get us? It got us 3/4 of a second, 0.752 over a lap at Spa. We went from being, well, the business end of course was sector 2, we went from being 1.982 off the pace in sector 2 to being 1.44, so net gain of 0.54 of a second in sector 2. Sector 1 we only gained 0.118 of a delta, which was originally 0.591. And in sector 3 we found less than a tenth, 0.092 of a second. So we didn't find much in sector 3. We didn't find much in sector 3. So there's still quite a lot to get in sector 3, and I think a lot of that's in the braking. But we've moved from being 3.5 seconds off the quickest guy we've seen to being 2.77 seconds. So we've taken away 21% of the gap. So there's still some big areas for improvement. We've just seen them. So we'll go back to the drawing board again and try and find a little bit more. But having found 3/4 of a second over a single lap of Spa and gotten ever so close to the 2:29s, I'm now on a 2 minutes 30.119. I think with my next session I'll get into the 2:29s and getting pretty close now to being, targeting being within 2 seconds of the quickest guy. So that was a productive session, productive bit of practice, guided by Replay Office. Hope you enjoyed that. Hope that's of some use to you.